In 1983, I was traveling a lot. I was living out on the West Coast. And it occurred to me, two things occurred to me. One, that the only interesting people who I sat next to on airplanes were in the technology business, the entertainment industry, or the design professions. And, you know, everybody else was a kind of single digit. And they sort of had, some of them had some interesting things to say. The second thing that occurred to me is what they didn't understand is that they were all one business. That in order to do extraordinary things in any of those businesses, in the technology business, you had to have design, and you had to put the design of the information technology business, you had to have the design of that information in an entertaining form. That doesn't mean, entertainment doesn't mean stand-up comic. It's kind of, it's interesting. It's seductive. It's information that attaches to you in a Velcro sense. So I thought, well, technology, entertainment, design, TED, that'd be a cute name for a meeting. So I decided to have a conference in which I invited the people who I knew who crossed over, who conspicuously crossed over, whether it was Herbie Hancock, who was getting heavily involved with MIDIs and technology in his music, or technologists who are getting involved in design, like the people from Sony, Mickey Schulhoff at that time, who was involved in design, and later very quickly into the entertainment industry. Benwell Mandelbrot, who came up with fractal geometry, USA Today, which was a newspaper that was involved with technology, a new kind of technology for downlinking and printing newspapers around the country. It was entertaining and had new design. That the successful, emerging successful products and services in our community were TED products. So I had a conference in '84, lost money, couldn't get people to come, had fantastic speakers because it was too far ahead of the curve. I didn't do one for years. Then several people who were at the first one, I mean, it wasn't that nobody came, but several people who were at the first one convinced me I should do it again. And when I did it again, it sold out like that. Everybody knew what I was talking about. But that was 6 years later. TED is my indulgence. People who interest me, I call on the phone, they come, and they talk to me about their passions. I once ran a course when I was dean of a school in Pomona, California. It was called Passionate Pomona. And I had all my friends who were passionate about something come out and give a speech. Well, the conference is about people with passion, whether they're jugglers or animal acts, scientists, doctors, propeller heads, techies, entertainment industry. I don't save seats for the speakers. There's no podium. Nobody reads a speech. I designed a 3.5-day experience the way I would like to experience it. I hate panels, so there's no panels. I hate being read a speech. Nobody reads a speech. I hate long speeches. Nobody talks for more than 15 minutes. So if they're good, you can talk to them longer. If they're bad, it's not so long, right? We give away prizes. People have teddy bears. I throw hats in the audience. There's not one for everybody. People leap to get a hat. It's the fun and the scarcity of things. There's the high-tech things there to play with, but we have flowers and sculpture. It's not a Hare Krishna meeting, trust me. And the people you're sitting next to, you don't know what they do. There's no mailing list. There's no invitations. It's all filled by word of mouth, and I turn away 1,000 people. And it's filled by people who want to think of ideas out of the box. And what is the quest? What do people try to get out of TED? Well, nobody's ever told me this, but I believe it's pattern recognition. I believe it's patterns. As you think of ideas out of the box, what you're trying to discover is new patterns. Creativity, the creative person, is trying to see new patterns. And I think at TED there's the opportunity where you can discover some patterns. The patterns and relationships between how an insect moves and the design of a web page. How somebody juggles and how do you talk to your mother. New discoveries about primates and how do you understand what to do next in your life. They're all patterns that you can see the connectivity to. At least some people can.